Weed Whack-A Lawn Care. Hey, today what I'm going to be doing is using my backpack blower, the BR 800 steel backpack blower. Right now, what you see me doing is right here. I'm going on. Well, I'm on this here property, and it has a lot of pine needles that's all over the property. So what I'm going to be doing today is trying to clean it up from all of these pine needles that have fallen from the pine trees and all. And I'm trying to get all that debris cleaned up out of the flower beds and all around the trees, the tree roots and all of that. So as you can see right now, what I'm doing is I'm using a BR 800 backpack blower to move all of this derbish out the way. And as you can see right there, I'm working away with it. So I'm trying to get everything all cleaned up here. Now on this property, I'm going to be here for a while. And you know, when you working with a lot of just pine needle derbish, it takes time to clean all this stuff out of these flower beds. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to get all of this here all cleaned up all around. And what I'm going to be doing is trying to get all the front all cleaned up first, and then I'm going to have to go to the back. The back is full of pine needles all over the back. It has some jasmine in there, so I'm going to have to take and try to rake some of those pine needles out of that jasmine in the back. Also, there's a little porch area back there, so I got to get all the pine needles off of that in the back there. And that's going to take some time. So, but meanwhile, I'm going to carry on working here in the front, trying to get the front all cleaned up. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Normally when you have pine trees, these are something that you have to try to stay on, doing it on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. But this one here, I don't know the last time that they had someone out to clean this here up. But well, as I can say anyway, they called me to come out to do this job. This is my very first time working on this here property. And so I'm here today to basically try to get it all cleaned up. And I'm just sharing this here with y'all, what I'm doing on this property. And what I'm trying to do, rather, is blow all of the pine needles out into one area. And then I'm going to get my walk behind right more, and I'm going to mulch all that up, and then I'll put the bag on there. So it's going to take some time to get this up. It's going to take some time. So what I'll tell y'all about how I do these types of properties. Normally, when you're working on properties like this, you observe your surroundings and see what it's all in, you're going to encounter for flower beds, trees, and all of that. So you look at that and you say, well, okay, it's going to take me a little time to get this done. Hey, y'all, what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to change over and put the head mount on my head so I can walk and show y'all the power of the blower here. As you can see how it will take and just blow all of that derbish over into the lawn right there. I'm just basically trying to get the driveway all cleaned up, move that over there. You can see how powerful that blower is. It just blows all the derbish off the driveway, just cleaning it up, getting it over there. I want to get all that. What I'm doing though, I want to get all of that into the lawn, so like I was telling you earlier, I can get it all mulched up, and that's going to reduce my bag. Yeah, that's going to reduce my bag count there, y'all. So I'm going to try to get all of this over in one area and get it all mulched up, because I don't want to end up with 10 bags of leaves and pine debris out here. I don't want to do that. So I'm basically just getting everything cleaned up here. As you can see, I'm just getting it all into the lawn to mulch it. I want to get it all over there in the lawn so I can mulch it up. And then once I get, once I go over and I'll mulch it all up, then I'll put the bagger on there, and then I'll just pick up the rest of the little debris, and it's gonna be smaller. It's not gonna be as much. Like I may end up having just maybe one bag of derbish for this, maybe one and a half or two bags, because it shouldn't be that much left after I get it all mulched up and all. But I learned a long time ago. I used to be out there mowing, and I would run into something like this, and I would rake it up and put it all in bags, and I'd have like maybe 10, sometimes 15 to 20 bags of that. And I was like, oh no. And guess what? The customer wasn't paying for those bags. You done used up all those bags, and you're not getting any more money for bagging it. But you can rest assured right now, you know, you gotta always go in there and figure, hey, if I gotta bag it, I'm gonna have to charge for those bags. And sometimes you can let the customers know, say, hey, listen, I'm gonna charge you for the bags. Let's see how many, is it gonna take. 'Cause, I mean, you can wind up buying a package of those bags, spending like, I don't know, $25, $30, $40, and use all those bags up, and you're losing money when you have to bag it, because that's coming out of your little profit that you could probably make on the run. But those are things that you got to take in consideration. All what you have to work with, and all what it's going to take to get this done. Even your fuel mix, it's like I just filled that blower up, so it may take a tank of that gas mix just to get all of this here all cleaned up. That's another thing you got to take in consideration, how much fuel is going to take me. And I never know, but you adding it up. It takes gas to move this thing. So just looking at it, that's a lot of debris that I'm moving here with this blower. So it takes time to get this stuff cleaned up, and that's what I'm doing. But meanwhile, while I'm telling y'all about this, I want to say about the blower. The BR800 is a very good blower. It's light. I mean, I'm gonna be walking for about an hour and a half with this thing on my back, just blowing this derbish over. That's what it's going. I mean, just consistently blowing and blowing and blowing. You go back over until you get it good and clean, so that you can go over there and mulch that up, and then you gotta use it again. But after walking around with this thing on your back for about an hour or so, then well, some blowers, what I want to say is some blowers can tire you out. I mean, they're very good blowers and they have a lot of power, but it can be a lot of weight on your back, and it can get you exhausted quick. But on this one, I mean, with this BR800, well, it's light. I don't feel as that much weight is on this here blower, so it makes it light and it's very powerful. And that's something that you really want to consider when you're purchasing a backpack blower, the weight capacity. I mean, even though some jobs, it just depends on how much power you need, and walking around on it. I mean, I used to have a BR 600, which was very light. Loved the blower, but that was another one that it got stolen. My BR 600 was stolen, and I had an Echo that was stolen. The PB, I think it was 8010. Yeah, it was stolen. And they were very good blowers, very powerful, and would do a great job for us cleaning up and all. But things happen in life. Low life's always floating around, looking around to steal something. So you got to be very careful when you're out here, because you just never know where those low life thieves are. And that's why I got cameras on my truck, all around, spy cameras, everything. You'll catch them. And if I catch them, I'm gonna post them. Yeah, messing with my stuff, I'm gonna post it. I'm recording it. It's gonna be up on YouTube. It's gonna be on Instagram. It's gonna be on Facebook. It's gonna be on Snapchat. Quack, quack, whack, whack. It's gonna be everywhere. If I catch it, I'm gonna post it. Everybody gonna know, hey, you shouldn't have been messing with it. That was my stuff. So why was you messing with it? but somewhere somebody will know. Sometimes they say that they think that you have a big world, but sometimes it turns out it's a small world. They may be right around the corner and not know that you were prepared with a camera to catch them. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I've had some customers and they've had some thieves have come up and taken stuff off their porch and their camera recorded them, and they live right around the corner from them, and they called the law and they caught them. Sure did, they caught them, and that's something. You stand that close and you're gonna steal at home, and you know, thinking you're gonna get away with it. It was very easy for them to catch them. It was right there in the neighborhood. They just posted a picture. People knew exactly who they were. I mean, you can post a picture on the next door neighbor app, catch all the thieves you want right in your neighborhood. So, I mean, you know, well, don't think you're gonna get away now. I mean, especially with all of these new devices that they have for us, Ring, Vob, and all these other different types of gadgets that you can put in your home, in your vehicle. I mean, well, it just came to that because, like I say, you got these low life thieves, and you have to have all kinds of equipment now going to protect your equipment and stuff. Good investments. But y'all, what I'm telling you, see, as you can see right here, what I'm doing with this blower is I'm getting all this lawn right here. I'm getting it all cleaned up from all of these pine needles that were laying in the lawns and in the flower beds here, trying to get all of that debris in there. And I'm just gonna mulch it up because I'm gonna try to reduce my bag count here. Because hey, every little bit you can save on, the more profit you can have. You know, I don't want to spend a fortune trying to bag this. Because what it is. You try to make it where the customer gets a good fair price, but you got to compensate for all of the materials and stuff that you have to use, equipment and stuff. So you want to compensate for all of that. I don't know, using these blowers, and I use them hard. These things don't wear out, and I'm gonna have to buy another one. So I want to be able to buy another one. So I got to compensate for that when that thing decides to quit from all of this hard work of consistently blowing all the time. Now, I picked this blower up this year, back in the beginning of the lawn care season back there in March, and I must say I have used it on a number of properties for its cleaning up debris and all. And I'm very, what can I say, very happy with this blower. And I don't know, next year I may pick up another blower. I don't know. I may try that. What's that one? Echo coming out with the PB 9010. Here it is. It's a very powerful blower, and it has a. Well, I don't know. They said it was 24 pounds. It's kind of heavy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just try one on and see how I feel on my back. Walk around with one on my back for a few minutes and see, if I can adjust. Now this, like I said, with this BR800, I can walk all day with it just consistently blowing, and it feels very comfortable on my back. Those are things you must consider when you working with a backpack blower. The weight capacity of that blower. And I have others. Now I think the what can I say, the Echo 770T. It was, well, yeah, I've had that one, and it was real good. Not too heavy, but it's light. But it's still it's a good blower. It's powerful, but in an angle says it's equivalent to this 800. No, it's got a bigger engine, and this 800 is like, whoa, it'll go get it for you. And you can see right here while I'm out here blowing, you can see what it's doing for me right here. See, I'm getting all of that all good and clean. Oh yes. And then once I finish all this now, I'm gonna get the mower and mulch all this up. But I'm just sharing this with y'all on what I'm doing here for is cleaning up all of these pine needle debris and leaf debris that I will run across over on the other side. But to get this good and clean, you got to go over it a number of times, over and over, and double check your work. Make sure that you have got all this debris out of the way. And that's what I'm doing here, trying to get everything out of there, because I want to give a good, clean appearance for the customer. I want the customer to know that they're getting a good job for the money that they're paying. And I'm not wasting any time. I'm just continuously working and trying to get this all clean and pretty for the customer. And that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. So I'm just sharing this with y'all, so that if y'all out there and doing any lawn care, you'll know what to do and what to look for and how to do it. Especially some of the younger guys. If you're getting into it, you know what you want to give to your customer and what their expectation is of you. They're expecting you to do a good job, expecting you to clean it up and make it look good. Make them look good. That's what your job is, to make them look good. When you get on that property, that's your job. Make your customer look good. And that's what I do on all my customers. As you know, I have gotten customers yard of the month. A number of them I've gotten the yard of the month. And it was just me coming every week, continuously working in their property to make it look good. Now, after making them look good, which, they had to make me look good too. You got to pay me good for me to come out and do this type of work. But some of them, after, paying good, then they reverted back down to that $20 guy, which is perfectly okay. I understand. I mean, hey, if the guy can do it for $20, hey, that's on him. But I can't do it for 20, because I got a high overhead. I got taxes, insurance. I got a lot of stuff I got to pay to stay running out here. Matter of fact, I got to buy some new tires with a trailer. And I mean, the trailer's a year old, and I got to buy some new tires. So to tell you how much I've been running, I done wore some tires out. But that cost me. And I just put some new tires on my truck in the beginning of this year. That cost me, I think I paid like $1,300 for that, for 4 new tires. Of course, I had to buy some good tires. I bought some of those Michelins. They tend to hold up good. But still, everything costs, and those tires wear out. And you got to have some money to replace those items when they wear out. And if you're not making enough income to do that, then you're going to be running around on some borrowed tires. And you can't do that. That's not safe. You want to have some good tires, especially pulling a trailer. You got to have good tires on your truck, because you got a lot of weight behind you. And if you hit those brakes, you want something that's going to grip. Because if you run with bald tires and you go to hit, you're going to be sliding. And that ain't going to be you don't want to slide into someone. No. You got to be very careful, especially pulling a trailer, and that's a lot of weight. That stuff will push that truck. So you want to make sure you got good tires on your truck and your trailer. And that's why I'm getting ready to get those new tires for my trailer. I know I got one back there that's slick, and now actually I got 2 of them. Look like the rubber's done worn down on them. So that's gonna cost me some money. So I'm gonna be getting that soon. Yes, but y'all, as you see how much work I'm doing with that blower. You see I'm continuously just blowing these leaves here. I'm getting them over to the side and right here over in that area. Sometimes when you get caught in situations like this, you have to blow them over to the side, and you still have to go over there and clean up the neighbor's portion too, because of these leaves. We don't want any conflicts about anything. So what I do is I'm going to take and blow it over there, and I'm going to clean up their neighbor's side. I'm going to clean all that up, even though it needs cleaning. But hey, I'm going to do it anyway for free, because I don't want any problems, because I want to just get these leaves out of the way. So I want to make this area look good over in here. So that's what I'm doing. And sometimes you have to do that, and hopefully there's no problem with the neighbor. they don't mind it because I'm like, hey, you share an area right in here with your neighbor. So you getting some of his leads, he's gonna get some of your leads. So hey, sometimes it's just good just to go on and clean it all up and not, you know, do half of the property. Just go ahead and clean it up in there anyway and make it look good. And if they say anything, you just tell them, hey, I was making a mess with these leaves, and I just went on and I cleaned up your side just to get them out of the way. And I was hoping that you didn't mind didn't mind me cleaning it up. And some of them, they always say, "Oh no, no problem. Go ahead and do the whole yard." And I kind of laugh at them. I be like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, I think yeah, maybe next time. I mean, I'll do the whole yard. You know, if you like to be signed, if you want to get on the schedule here, I sure will do that whole yard for you." But I'm just doing this portion right now because it's part of your neighbors, so I'm just trying to get that out cleaned up here. And sometimes, you know, some neighbors, they'll say, hey, while you at it, you made that look good. Yeah, how much you charge? And then we'll join forces with you to go ahead and clean up their property and make theirs look good. Sometimes, but not all the time. So never look for nothing like that to happen, you know. But I'm just gonna get this out because I don't want no problems with them. You know, you don't want no problems. And some neighbors, you know, oh man, I've been in situations where, oh boy, it was, well, they wanted to call the law, and I told them call them. Matter of fact, well, I got the number right here. I'll call 911 right now if there's an emergency. I feel like there's a threat here. You messing with me? I'm just trying to do this yard, and you slowing me down. You know, then they'll go away, but I don't have too many of them, you know, not too many of them. The last one I had to get that one squared away, and I got it squared away, and they left me alone. But hopefully you don't run into a situation like that, but you never know. You just never know. But yeah, you see, I'm just showing you today what I'm doing with this blower, and you see it takes a while just to get something to look good. It takes some time to get something to look good. And you see, that's what I'm doing. And I know this will go on and on. I mean, I'm way into this for these leaves. And what I'm doing, basically, I'm just getting everything out the way. I'm prepping the yard so that I can get in there and actually mulch all this stuff up. And get it looking good. And when I get through, y'all know it's gonna be looking good. It's gonna be looking good here when I get through. But this is just the front, and you see how much work I had to do here in the front. Now, you know, I got to do the same amount of work in the front as in the back, and it's just gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, I tell you. Woo. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna get that all taken care of, and that's what I'm doing. So I just gotta keep going over and over. So when I leave, it's gonna be looking good. The customer gonna be happy, and that's what I'm working on, making the customer happy. You know, that's my main concern, is getting in there and doing a good job and making the customer happy with what I'm doing. And matter of fact, y'all, when I'm just telling you ahead what I done. You know, after finishing up this property, the customer did want to get signed up for a weekly service, and inform the customer that sure, we can do that. We can get you weekly. But I also said, you know, right now grass is not really growing, and what we can do is put you on a bi-weekly due to the fact, you know, it's just these leaves and pine needles and all. So once I finish, I will come back in 2 weeks and do this again, because, you know, you want the customer to have some value. That's what I'm saying, value for the money that they're paying. And hopefully it won't be too bad next, you know, in 2 weeks. It won't be that much debris that has fallen into the lawn. So as you can see right now, I'm getting my mower down here, and I'm going to take and get all of this here all mulched up. I'm gonna mulch it real fine. And when you're doing these mulch jobs, you always want to have some good sharp blades on your mower, mulching blades on your mower, where that you can just mulch that up into little dust rather. I mean, the mower. I mean, if you can mulch it down, low as you can mulch it. If it'll turn to dust, it turns to dust. And then once it gets so low, then I'm gonna take and put the bagger on there and go back over the lawn. And that's when I'm gonna go over this lawn a number of times. It's mulching these pine needles all up. And as you can see right here, it's getting rather dusty here. That's why I have my mask on and all. So we can get this here all mulched up. And yeah, you can see it right here. Yeah, I'm mulching it up. So just gonna take some time. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna spend some time on mulching this here up. And once I get this finished, as I was telling y'all earlier, then I got to do the same thing in the backyard. And I'm spending quite a bit of time on this property here because it needed a lot of work. I must say, a lot of work. And you run into a lot of these, especially around February. That's when everybody started wanting to really gear up for the lawn care. They want to get signed up. They start looking for someone to come out and do lawn care for them around in February. I mean, you'll get maybe a little bit there in January, but from my experience, I've seen more in February and March. They start wanting to get on your list. They want to get on your list early before you fill up. Because once I reach a certain number, then I'll back off. I'll keep an open slot at all times because some are going to drop. But what I do is I say, well, this is enough. But then if it gets real large, then yeah, I will bring someone on to help, because it can just get outrageous if you get so many of them. I mean, and they'll start coming and you're like, whoa. You get to the point you're never at home. You're always gone. And I don't wanna get like that anymore, because I remember times that I was always gone. I was never at home. I was wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm out somewhere working till 7 at night. 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I would mow up sun up to sundown. And that's one of those things. The reason I was doing it was because it's a hustle-based business. It's a seasonal base, and you got to do all you can do while you can do it, because you know the season's going to end. So you better be done made all you could make within that season. Because if you haven't, oh well, that's it. And that's the reason why I would do that, work sun up to sundown. Not that I had to, but I did it because I knew it was a seasonal base. And what it is, it rains a lot, and you may get those months where it's just raining and raining, you won't have no income. So, but if you've been out there hustling hard, then it's no problem, when it rains, because you put something back for those rainy days. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.